Welcome to this Eaglet Eye video. And today we have the absolute pleasure of a special guest, Dr. Alex Gibberman. Let me give a quick introduction. Dr. Gibberman graduated in 2014 with honors from the Pennsylvania College of Optometry. And he then spent 6 years working in a private practice. But this year he made the leap to start his own practice, 2020 Eye Care in Loveland, Ohio, together with Dr. David Williams. And I'd love to hear a little bit about that later. But perhaps first, could you tell us a little bit about how you use the eye surface profiler in your squirrel lens practice?
Sure, and thank you again, Arnie, and good morning or good afternoon there in Holland. We have been using the eye surface profiler for the last couple of years, and we're really excited with the new updates and how that's played an awesome role in improving the fitting experience both for us and for the patient. And it's really, I think, in my opinion, transformed itself to the point that we, if possible, are trying to use the eye surface profiler for every single scleral fit that we perform in the practice, which, is somewhat dependent on the patient, and the information is only as good as the image. So, getting a good image is of utmost importance. And that's something I know we've all talked a lot about, as to how to go about getting the best possible image. But really, yeah, if we can, we're at least trying to use it with every single patient that we're fitting in a scleral.
And what do you see as the main benefits of using this technology in the scleral fitting process?
Well, I think it's, number one, it's more information. It's an excellent tool for gathering information, and it's moving us closer to full empirical fitting. So I guess the number one thing is it's really helping us to cut down on the number of follow-ups, because when we can provide a lab with as much data and as much information as possible, it allows both us and the lab to quickly and accurately design a lens that hopefully we can dispense on the first try. And that's especially with all the software updates that we're seeing from Eaglet and from the eye surface profiler. We're starting to notice that even some of the more and most challenging and complicated fits are getting done on the first or second try.
You work a lot with scleral designs by Aculens. What can you tell us about them?
So really from the start, I've really enjoyed working with Aculens. They pretty much are responsible for me fitting sclerals. I didn't really have a good background in school. I don't recall ever touching a scleral lens in school, which was not that long ago, but it just wasn't a big part of our program. So it was Aculens that sent somebody out to our practice, and they really just gave me a crash course in training how to fit the lenses, and they were with me every step of the way. I mean, we really went from no fits to hundreds of fits within a couple of years, and a lot of that's credit to them and the awesome people that they have working there. And they never made me feel silly with asking questions, so they were great on the front end, and they've really been great all the way through. So as far as training, they were amazing. They're an extremely customizable lens. You're not stuck working with a single diameter or specific diameter. You can really adjust every single parameter that exists in their lens, from the base curve to the diameter to the optic zones, the shape of the optic zones, quadrant specifics, you name it. So they're constantly working to up their game, and they're very, again, easy to get a hold of, easy to work with. So yeah, I think it's been great working with them.
And I guess, of course, you mentioned the customizability of their design. Of course, this is where the combination with the iSurface Profiler becomes such a powerful one.
Yeah, I agree. So, you know, the information is only so good as the lab to a degree. I mean, you could give a lab all the information in the world, but if a lab is only able to produce a lens that has so many you know, characteristics that are changeable, then they're kind of limited. You know, Aculens, their software and their cutting technology really allows them to be adaptable. You know, they can take a look at a design, they can take a look at this data, input it right into their focal point software, and pretty much design, you know, a lens in cyberspace and just take that data and plop it right in there and shape the entire lens that way, which is fantastic. Yeah. And then you combine that with their multifocal profile. It's even better. And actually recently with Aculens, they've done a lot with their decentered design lenses, decentered multifocals. So that's you know, centration is everything, but when you can't achieve centration, it's really nice to be able to measure how far to decenter the optics.
So really a very deep and wide ability to customize, and then in combination with the full 3D data from the iSurface Profiler, you can basically achieve that every time. Well, you just started your new practice. How has it been so far for you?
It's been great. It's been a lot of fun. You know, definitely some challenges. It's been an interesting year. You know, 2020 has been interesting. Our practice is actually called 2020 Eye Care, so just in case people forget, it should be pretty easy to remember. But yeah, I mean, you know, obviously there's a lot of stresses and a lot of work that goes into building and starting a new practice, especially in today's day and age. But you know, it's just something that myself and my partner, Dr. Williams, always wanted to do. We've been really good friends for the last 6 years, and really since we met each other, it's something that we've been talking about and dreaming about. And the stars aligned, and we were able to do it. So yeah, we're 3.5 weeks in, and we're rocking and rolling.